Heir hunter Dave Slee's search for Constance's heirs has brought him to the brink of his first major breakthrough. By tracing the descendants of her uncle William, he had arrived at her first cousin once removed, Reginald Harrington. Reginald was Dave's first live heir on this case, so he didn't waste any time getting in touch.
It was a complete surprise to me. I had no idea, in fact, that I had a cousin, once removed, named Constance.
It turned out that for some reason, Reginald's father, also called Reginald, had had very little contact with his family after he married.
I didn't come across my family until I was a young man myself, so my paternal family is quite distant to me, which is one of the reasons why I'm now so keen to learn more.
Could you talk about any of the others?
Dave was able to tell Reginald about his cousin Constance's illustrious wartime career. But as it turned out, this was only her first step along the corridors of power. As the investigation continued and Dave spoke to more of Constance's descendants, he made a fascinating discovery.
I found out from a family member that, incredibly, Constance at one time was working as the private secretary to John Profumo, who later on, as the Minister of War, was involved in the Profumo scandal.
John Profumo was a Conservative politician who served as Secretary of State for War from 1960 to 1963. During this time, he had an adulterous affair with a glamorous call girl named Christine Keeler, sparking off one of the greatest political scandals of the 20th century. Profumo famously fell for Christine's charms when they met by the swimming pool of Cliveden House, where they were both guests at a house party. The year was 1961. Profumo and Christine embarked on a brief affair that ended after he was warned about her friendship with society osteopath Stephen Ward.
It was known to the security services that Ward had some connections and had been trying to make contact with the Russians. Ward seems to have been a bit of a fantasist and was trying to sell secrets to the Russians and find ways of doing that.
Fast forward 18 months and the press have got wind of the affair and are hounding Christine. It's become known that another of her boyfriends, also introduced to her by Ward, was Yevgeny Ivanov, a Russian naval attaché to the Soviet embassy in London.
One of the reasons why the Profumo affair becomes so toxic is because it could be associated with security scandals and with the whole idea of spying in the wake of a series of spy scandals which had broken over the previous year or so.